Hey everyone, a couple people have requested me show my 3rd through 5th grade literacy intervention classroom, so I'm going to give you a little walking tour now. Okay, so I start by making sure that all 5 components of reading are visible and that all of my bulletin boards are usable. So I want to make sure it doesn't just look pretty, it's something that we can reference and is purposeful information for students to access. So for my Phonological Awareness board, I remind them the parts of phonological awareness, and then I have the levels of David Kilpatrick's past, and we do a program called Leveling Up where the kids know exactly what level they are on and what their goal is and why it's important and how to do that. And then in their Everything Reading Notebook, they get to keep track of their levels. Notice that it is not, student names are not written. There's no way to know what other people's level is. Then we move on to phonics. And if I was just in a 2nd or 3rd grade classroom, I would probably have this as a build as you go, where I would add just one at a time as we learn them through the scope and sequence. But because I have 5th graders in here that have already learned all of this, I have it up for them just to access and for me to reference. This is my All About the Vowels bulletin board, and vowels determine pronunciation and spelling. So we make a huge deal about vowels. And it's always about the vowels. Is the vowel long or short? So if it's short, it needs a keeper consonant. And if it's long, then it can be long because it's open, because it has a magic E, or because there's a vowel team. I use the vocabulary of reading with all of my students. So I say phonemes and graphemes. I teach them what those words mean and then have a visual reference for them. And then here's where I store my Everything Reading notebooks. So for 3rd, 4th, and 5th grade, they build a reading notebook, and we utilize that throughout the entire year. This is my organization system for the Everything Reading notebook. So each drawer has a different cutouts that I have already. This is the leveling up that I was referencing that goes in the Everything Reading notebook, and kids get to celebrate when they level up. And so as we're building, I just have all of the pieces already prepped so that it makes my life easier. Okay. We're on to Fluency, so I probably reference and touch this poster 1,000 times a year. And moving on, everything is on purpose, so the short, or 111 spelling rules, there's a fun visual reminder for that. And then here is my Morphology Board. So every week they have a phonics pattern and also a morpheme that we're going to learn, and this is kind of where I do the explicit teaching, and then as we go, then I add the morphemes that have already been taught onto this bulletin board so that kids can access it and we can reference it. So I'll show you later on in the year kind of as it gets built out. This is the entrance and exit. I remind them we're always setting goals. They know exactly where they are and what they need to do to reach their goals. Okay, as we're moving on, here's our vocabulary board, and this is also a board that we build as we go. So I teach them when you come to a word you don't know, first you have to recognize it's a clunk, you don't know what it means, but we have all of these ways that we can figure out unknown words, and so every time I see that, I model that in text, we add it to a sticky note and build that as we go. And then finally, we have our Comprehension Board, and this is our Fab 4 comprehension strategies. And I have kids come sit at the carpet and we talk about it and we add to this poster with the text that we're currently using. And then I like to have some snacks. Here's my Redwood Board, and it is not a word wall in the sense that it's alphabetical, old-fashioned word wall. These are red words that cannot be tapped out, and so I do have them alphabetical so that kids can just access them very easily. All the red words here would have been already taught. There's the rest. And then we, of course, have a little classroom library, and I use the anchor charts all the time. or pocket charts all the time. So here's what it looks like from the whole class. And I like for older students, I like to have a circle table that I can bring just a couple kids one at a time or in small group up, but I also like them to have individual desks because I just feel like we have so many Orton Gillingham materials that I like them to have a place to kind of store and manage, and I realize that this is before the very beginning of the school year, and I know that this is not what it looks like even a few weeks in. But you'll notice that they have a whiteboard we use all the time, dry erase markers, sound spelling boxes with syllable scoops, and a page protector. We use that all year. Red crayons and syllable surgery paper and syllable boards and Elkonin boxes with chips and crowns for vowels. So everything that they need is right here, and I save a ton of time not passing things out. Okay, I hope that helps, and I hope you have a great school year.